Greetings, friends. It's Josh.
And I'm Ryan.
We're here today for another episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. And I'm super excited to be here, as always.
I'm so excited.
I'm always excited to be here.
I'm so excited, Josh.
I like getting to talk with you, Ryan, about games. It's
Me
fun.
too.
I think that's the only reason we still do this podcast.
No one's actually listening. We're just here talking to each other.
Do we need to record anymore? Yeah. No, we want to thank you if you are tuning into this and listening. We want to thank you because you are awesome. So
it's true.
It's true. You know. So yeah, Ryan.
Oh, Josh.
You were more excited about this episode
giddy.
than I am.
I'm so giddy. We're getting ready to do. You don't even know. I haven't even told you.
I do not know.
All I've told you is how excited I am.
Yes, this is true.
We are getting ready to do something that we probably shouldn't do because. It's a podcast. There's no video, so it really isn't gonna make a whole lot of sense.
It's a bad idea, right?
But no, this is gonna be awesome, and this is gonna call back to a previous episode, which we're so big now that we have to do callbacks to previous episodes. I know.
We do a lot of callbacks to previous episodes.
Josh,
Ryan,
I have here in my pocket.
Oh no!
That's right. I have 2 Reese's potato chips big cups. We are going to eat them right now as we record our reaction.
Okay, I'm down for this. It's actually really funny that you're doing this. There's another podcast that I listen to.
Yeah?
It's called Like Trees Walking.
Like Trees Walking.
Like Trees Walking.
All right.
And if you're familiar with Mystery Science Theater at all,
good stuff,
which is a phenomenal series and has spawned off phenomenal things. So Mike Nelson, the guy who was one of the hosts in the original, originally he was one of the writers for Mystery Science Theater, and then he became the kind of host of Mystery Science Theater after the first guy left. So Mike who was the host when I was kind of introduced to Mystery Science Theater. So anyway, he actually does a podcast with another guy called Like Trees Walking, and they do one of the series that, like, in their things, they'll have like a section up front where they talk about kind of philosophy and stuff like that. Yeah. And then the second part is always just kind of like a weird kind of thing. And but one thing that they do is Mike is actually a big fan of like eating tinned fish. Like, I don't know why, but he likes tinned fish, and he does it like from all over the world. Like, so like one of the things that he likes is like octopus in its own ink that's like stored in its own ink, like just weird stuff. So anyway, like the guy that he does the podcast with, he'll do like taste testing things with him. So this is actually very funny to me because this is something that another podcast that I listen to does, like regularly, where they eat things. So,
oh man,
that was a long-winded story to say this. We are not innovators here. This is, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, because it just it doesn't really translate when it's sound only. But I was at the store today. I forget what I was getting, but I was at the store and I walked past those, and it dawned on me I still haven't tried them. And so I thought, oh man, I'm going over to Josh's to do an episode today. Let's eat it on the podcast.
Yes, let's do this. So let's see. First off, the orange color is a registered trademark.
There it is.
So that's another throwback.
Still there.
I was hoping that it would say like, who made the potato chip?
The brand of potato chips?
Where did this potato chip come from? Like,
wait,
want to
let's see the package. So, just so our listeners are aware, they are ridged potato chips, according to the picture on the front.
You hear all the crinkling. That's that's the actual packaging. So
the official name is Reese's Potato Chips Big Cup.
The Potato Chips Big Cup. So
it's time.
Josh is opening.
It's time to dive in.
The packaging here. Okay, and we are going to dump these out on our official Dead Tired Dads table here. So Ryan gets one, Josh gets one. These things are ginormous.
They are. They're about, like, what would you say, twice the thickness of a regular?
It's the big cups are about two Reese's, regular Reese's, like, stacked on top of each other. So are we doing this at the same time?
Yeah, I guess. Why not?
Okay, why not? Okay, here we go. Crunchy.
It is crunchy.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't really taste a potato chip.
I don't either.
It's just the crunch.
It's just a crunch. Which is not bad.
No.
But it makes you wonder, why potato chips?
Yeah. A pretzel would be better.
They have that too.
Yes, the Take Fives.
I saw that today.
The Take Fives. So Take Fives, I may have mentioned this before. I may have not. Like, Take Five is the best candy bar on the face of the planet.
I do remember talking about that now.
So like, oh nope, there's a little bit of. I just got a little bit of saltiness.
Did you get a taste?
Yeah. I don't know. It seems pointless to me. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, it just tastes like a Reese cup with a crunch to it.
Yeah.
I was actually concerned that they had taken a really great thing and ruined it. They didn't do that.
No.
It's good. It tastes good, but you just don't taste the potato chip.
Yeah, there's no point. I don't get it.
Yeah.
The potato chip, like, there's something about it that it feels like it, like, even though you can't really taste it, it feels like it might be stale.
Yeah. I don't taste any potato chip at all. I feel the crunch, but I do not taste it.
I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing. So
I almost feel like the same thing could have been achieved by just using crunchy peanut butter.
Peanut butter. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking the exact same thing. So.
Nevertheless, we came up with a reason to eat Reese Cups on our podcast. So
yeah, that's good for us, right?
Nailed it.
Man, this is awesome.
It tastes good. It tastes like a Reese Cup with crunch to it, but it's just, like you said, it's kind of like, why?
Yeah.
And why potato chips? Why not pretzel? Why not crunchy peanut butter?
Yeah. Either one of those would have been a better choice. I think.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when we initially talked about it, I said, like, someone had to sit down in a room and go, like, this is a great idea, and no one questioned it. And I don't know why. Like, I would have been like the first one going, like, excuse me.
What's that comic strip where there's that one guy who, like, is the voice of reason and he gets thrown out the window?
Gets thrown out the window.
That's what happened in that meeting.
Right?
One person was like, I don't think we should do this, and he got thrown out the window.
You're done here, Johnson.
So, I ate that whole thing.
Yeah.
I got one bite that I tasted the tiniest little bit of potato chip.
Well, I feel like if you, like, sucked on it, like, even, like, you would, like, if you could, like, suck on it and, like, eventually, like, get the chocolate and the peanut butter, like, off of it, eventually you would feel like nothing but, and you would get a little bit more of the, but, like, there's just not enough in there for you to even get, like, a salty, like, enough.
You know how else you could,
salty in
you know how else you could do it, Josh? You could, eat a Reese Cup and then eat some potato chips.
That would also achieve the same thing. That would functionally work. So,
well, that was fun.
That was fun. What a great idea, Ryan.
I mean, you know.
So
we just I feel like we reached the pinnacle.
Just about
of the podcast.
That's just about. That's as high as we're. That's the top of the mountain.
We've reached the peak. We are at the top.
Oh man, that's awesome! 10 minutes of eating Reese's cups.
I can't figure out why we don't get more listeners. Just we've tried everything.
No, we have not tried everything. Yeah. We've barely begun to try, Ryan.
You know what? I can't even say that we've reached the pinnacle because I watched you play the game that you're going to talk about on this episode. And we're definitely not at the pinnacle yet. I can tell you that, guys.
So last episode we talked about Lawnmower Simulator.
Yep.
I feel like this episode could end up like with the way we've gotten started here.
We're off to a good start.
We're off to a good we could end up rivaling start. Like this could be a rival episode for that as our greatest episode that we've ever released. So, you know, be aware that you are in for a real treat.
I borderline don't even want to talk about my game. I just want to spend the whole episode talking about yours.
Well, that being the case, why don't we start with yours?
No! All right.
So that we can then
quickly move on. Just get it out of the way.
We can go into mine. So, wow. Right. So we've moved on from Reese's, and the orange color is still a registered trademark.
Yep.
Potato chips are worthless in Reese's cups. That is what I've discovered.
Serve no purpose.
Put peanuts or pretzels in there instead, and then you get more saltiness, and it would be better.
True.
So anyway, so Ryan, why don't we talk about your game?
All right, I played Lego DC Super Villians.
Oh
yeah. I bought it right before my trip. And then I was gone for 2 weeks with my Nintendo Switch, and I never turned it on.
Oh, well, that's helpful.
Yeah, that served me a lot. No, I just didn't get a chance to play on my trip, but I have played it since I came home.
Okay.
And I'm very torn. I'm very mixed on this game.
Sure.
So the premise is you start the game and you create your own character. You create your own villain.
Okay.
Which is kind of fun. And as you play, you unlock abilities and you can sort of customize your superpowers, if you will. So it's cool because you get to play with all of your standard villains. You get to be the Joker, the Riddler, Harley Quinn. I'm trying to think who else you get to be. Clayface, Scarecrow. It's dawning on me. Have I named anyone not from Batman?
I don't think so.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of all the ones I played. They're all from Batman.
I mean, I assume Lex Luthor's in there.
Oh, yeah. Lex Luthor's one of the first ones you control. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
but most of the DC villains that anyone would know would be...
Yeah, most of the ones we care about.
Would be from Batman, because he has the best villains in the DC universe. Everyone else's villains.
This is true.
I assume there's a Flash villain somewhere in there that you got to play with, but...
Yeah, that's true.
But
good point.
But, I mean, let's be honest. DC is held up by Batman.
Yeah, that's also true.
So, anyway...
So, yeah, you get to control all these villains, which is cool. But you also have the one you created, and you can customize him and learn your own superpowers. So that's kind of a fun, mechanic. It's definitely family friendly. I played it with my 7, almost 8-year-old son. He loves it. He's enjoying it. In fact, he was naming off characters that I didn't even know. So I was like, "Whoa, I'm getting past."
So is like Condiment King and Polka Dot Man, are they in there?
I did not see them.
Okay, that's too bad.
At least yet.
Yeah, I'm sure they're there.
I haven't beaten it yet. And there's a lot to unlock, because after each level it shows you what you unlock, and there's a ton. A ton. After 2 levels of the game, which I'm further than that now, but after 2 levels, it told me I had unlocked 2.7% of all the stuff I could unlock.
Okay.
So
yeah, nice. So there's a lot. Like most Lego games, there's a lot to do. Yeah.
So it works in that regard. It's family friendly. But some negatives, some drawbacks to it. It seems to be sheer chaos.
Okay.
Like, there's not much... You sort of just start the game and there's not much introduction to the buttons or how the game works. It's just like, go, play. And, yeah, it just takes a really long time to figure out the mechanics, because instead of a tutorial, along the way there's a button you can press for hints.
Okay. Which
is fine, but then it's like I'm a few hours into the game and it's still giving me hints, and I'd rather just like play a tutorial level and
right.
And then I sort of had this moment where actually my wife commented from the other room, "I think you've just gotten your review of the game." Yeah. I was playing the game, and at one point I said, my exact words were, "I hope I get to a checkpoint soon so I can turn this game off."
I'm done playing. Yes.
So I said that, and my wife said, "I think you just got your review for the game."
Yeah. That's yeah.
To me, it feels a little bit like a missed opportunity.
Oh, sure.
There's lots of fun to be had, and it's if you've got young kids or if you've got kids into comic books. Like my son is big into comic book characters, so
yeah,
it's really fun for he and I to play together. That's a big plus for me.
Absolutely.
But just, to play on my own, it's like, this could have been better.
Yeah.
Not bad, could have been better.
Sure.
I got it for $10, so I can't complain. But yeah, I just felt like overall could have been better. I couldn't come to a point in either direction where I was like, yes, play this game, or no, don't play this game.
Sure. Well, and I think that that game was like one of the last Lego games that came out, I think, before the Lego Star Wars Complete Saga that just came out.
Yeah.
And I think what happened with the Lego, like you mentioned, that like there wasn't really any tutorial or anything like that, involved. And I think like that market for Lego games got so oversaturated.
Yeah, it did.
And I think what they were just like, oh well, everyone knows how these games work and kind of what they how to do things and how to figure stuff out. But like those games went so far, in my opinion, off the rails.
Yeah.
In the way that they did things, like they just became bad games.
Yeah.
Like they were no longer doing what they initially did, which was just be a fun game that told a story and had some goofy elements. It became like the whole game had to be chaos, like you said. Like,
yeah, and it's chaos, and the whole game is a goofy element. Yeah, like, and it was just like, okay,
yeah,
calm down.
I remember playing. I think I have Lego Batman 2 on Wii U, and I remember playing it and going, I feel overwhelmed with how much is here. Like, I just want, like, I don't need all of this. Like, this is too much.
Yeah.
I just wanted I felt like the original Lego games did a great job of keeping a balance of, like, yeah, there are all these characters, but you only have to play with, these certain ones.
Right.
And but like it's like, oh, you have to do this one. You have to have this one to do this thing, and that one to do that thing, and this one to do that thing, and this one, and like you have to like remember who does what, and it just, to me, it becomes tedious. It became tedious and annoying.
Yeah. Overwhelmed is the right word.
Yeah.
Because I was actually playing it at one point, and my son was sitting there watching me, and he asked me, well, do you need to do this? And I said, buddy, I honestly don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm so overwhelmed. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here.
There's so much. There is so much in those games where it's just like, this isn't fun. It's tedious and annoying.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's, and I also feel like a lot of times they try to do too much, where it's like they're trying to keep the aesthetic of the game, but they're trying to add more to it. And by adding more to it, it makes the controlling of things and like getting to certain things way more difficult than it needs to be, because they're trying to keep the same kind of scheme, but make, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say, but
yeah, no, I know what you mean, because at one point I spent a good 5 to 7 minutes trying to figure out how to go up.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just a matter of like mashing the B button.
Exactly. Like, stuff like that. Like,
just put a ladder there.
Yeah. Just make it simple. Don't overcomplicate these things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an expectation that I kind of had of that game when I saw it when it first came out. I was like, that's gonna be, it's not gonna be any good. And I remember when you were talking about getting it and you said that it was on sale for $10. I was like, it's one of those things where it's like, for $10,
yeah,
to have a game, like, basically it becomes a rental.
Yeah.
That you get to keep for the rest of your life.
That's true.
So, and that's what I think that's what I told you, when you were thinking about doing it. I was like, worst case scenario, you play it for, 3 hours and never play it again, and you basically just paid $10 to rent a game.
Yeah, well, I'm already past that point, so.
Yeah, so there you go.
I'll I will continue to play it, but probably whenever my son says, "Hey, let's play this," and that's great for me.
So. Yeah, and that's the other thing about those games is I think that they can be just kind of goofy and fun for kids to play.
Yeah.
I could also see it being very frustrating for a child to play though as well. If
that's true, for sure.
Given certain situations, so maybe not.
Yeah.
Depending on, I definitely don't pay full price for that game.
Yeah.
No matter what, like
don't do that.
If they say that the regular price is $20, you need to wait for that thing to go on sale. So yeah. DC Super Villains, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Okay. Ryan, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's get to the good stuff.
Okay. So, I have a game that I found on Game Pass, and if you're familiar with the game Goat Simulator, it's in the same vein as Goat Simulator. It's not just DEEEER Simulator.
No.
It's DEEEER Simulator. So there's several E's in there. So DEEEER Simulator. It's a
masterpiece. For starters.
I had played this game a couple weeks ago, and we haven't had a chance to record since then. And so I needed to. When you got here, I was like, I gotta play this game real quick, just to get kind of a refresher on it, to remind myself of everything that happens and what you can do. So, so there's no story in this game. There's nothing, that ties you to it. So as far as your time is concerned with this game, it's very much you can literally sit down and play this game for 10 minutes and accomplish everything that you can accomplish in the game, basically, and be done. And it's just stupid. So this game is...
I beg your pardon.
So basically, in this game, you are a deer. However, you're not just any deer.
As if that needs explained.
I don't even, Ryan, you watched this game.
I did.
I don't even know how to explain.
Masterpiece.
So you're this deer, and you're in this random city.
Yes.
And you run around and destroy things in the city. And as you destroy things, your destruction meter climbs.
Yep.
So you start off at level E.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa, Josh.
Whoa.
Your DEEREERzaster meter goes up.
You paid more attention than I did. The DEEREERzaster meter goes up. So it starts off at DEEREERzaster level E, and as you do more damage and destroy buildings and cars and street lights and things like that, and trees and stuff like that. Everything. You can basically destroy everything. As things are destroyed, it builds up to level D, and then once you get to level D, the cops come out.
Naturally.
And so the first level of cops are sheep.
Of course. Why wouldn't they be?
And so you have to fight. You have to beat the cops up. And so so your deer, can stand on its hind legs and throw punches. But you can also, if you destroy the buildings and things like that, you'll find other sorts of weapons, such as grenades and pistols and other kinds of shotguns and things like that. And if you, so that helps you defeat the sheep. After you defeat them, and you can continue destroying the buildings and things like that while the sheep are chasing you. And so if you do that enough, you'll get to DEEREERzaster level C.
Mm-hmm.
In which the polar bears come out.
Why wouldn't that be the next thing?
And begin attacking you. And then from level C, you go to level B, in which the giant long-eared rabbits with laser-sighted Nerf guns come out and attack you. And if you can kill all those cops and get to DEEREERzaster level A, the corgi dog comes out to get you. And So the corgi dog. So you can continue if you get to level A, you can continue running around the city and destroying things and doing whatever you want. And the corgi is just sitting over on its own little island by itself.
That was one of my favorite things.
And he didn't do it like he just sitting there.
He didn't care,
waiting for you to come see him. So
he was letting you just burn the city down.
Yes,
he was like, "I'll wait."
And then if you go over to the corgi. I actually hadn't seen this until you came over, right?
It was remarkable.
I had not gotten this far.
Remarkable.
So the corgi transforms using the polar bears, the sheep, and the long-eared bunny rabbits, and transforms into Doggo. A giant, like Voltron type.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought of when it happened.
The sheep form the feet. The polar bears form the arms, the dog is the head, and the long-eared rabbit is the body.
Upside down. So
yes.
that its ears are the legs.
Ears are the legs, yes. So...
because, of course.
And so then you have to fight and defeat defeat Doggo. If you die at any point, you go back to the beginning of the game and start off back at Deerzaster level E and have to restart from the beginning. Now, in order to aid yourself in causing more Deerzaster, you can recruit. There are several humans placed throughout the world in the city, and you can deerify them. And so if you deerify someone, they get antlers on their head, and then they will run around following you, helping you to destroy things. So the more people that you deerify, the more destruction that you cause as you roam around the city.
I couldn't help but notice as you were just running around destroying the city, the humans just stand there.
Yes,
they just no running away, no.
There's nothing that happens. So, there are all kinds of little odd things that go on. Your deer's neck also works as a...
I forgot about that. How did I forget about that?
I do not know how you forgot about this. So your deer's neck also works as kind of like a web shooter. So think of Spider-Man, right? And I've broken Ryan.
I can't breathe.
So you can aim wherever you want the deer's neck to go. You push the left bumper button and his neck will extend just like a web shooter, and you will launch into the air, and you can that way you can climb up and around things and get over things and stuff like that. There's a giant koala bear climbing a building that if you shoot, he will laser you to death with his eyes. And there is also, on top of the tallest building, there is a giant zebra.
Flying zebra, of course.
That you can climb on top of and ride as the deer and destroy things with your zebra. There are also all kinds of other hidden things that I have not discovered that I'm sure do all kinds of amazingness. Overall, this game is completely pointless and stupid. But it's also... absolutely amazing.
Wildly entertaining.
Yes. We've talked about before on this podcast how there are some games out there that were literally just made like 15 years ago. They are not games that would have been made.
Nope.
Because there wouldn't have been any purpose to it. Now with streaming and all that kind of stuff, this is one of those games that was specifically made just for people to stream and go, what the heck is going on?
What's amazing is with today's technology, someone spent 7.5 minutes making that game, and it is hilarious. It is amazing.
I'm sure it took more than 7.5 minutes, but yes, obviously Ryan hasn't even played the game, and he thinks that you should play it. It's on Game Pass. I don't know if it's available anywhere else, but it is phenomenally fun.
So, two thoughts. One of my favorite things that I observed when you were playing is you picked up some grenades.
Yes.
And just as you would expect, your deer's antlers were replaced by this grenade, the bucket on your head.
Yes, and
then you were able to just volley as many grenades as you wanted, never running out.
Yes.
Which then led to a subsequent thought. I've mentioned in the past how I'm a hunter. I think maybe that this is what we need to make hunting more of a sport, more even, If the deer that I'm hunting was lobbing grenades at me, it'd be a whole new game.
It's a whole different ballgame. Also, if we found the pistol while you were here.
You did find the pistol.
So once you get the pistol, your deer does his little animation where he does his matrix moves with the pistols. He rips off his antlers and then sticks the pistols where his antlers were. So now he's got dual pistols. And he also got to keep his grenades.
He kept the grenades. That was cool. Yeah.
So if you find the more weapons you find, the more destruction you can cause because you get to keep them. So apparently this game is available on PS4.
Yes.
It's $30.
I'd pay $60 for it.
So I'm sure you could probably find it cheaper than that. Like I said, free on Game Pass, so that's the way to go.
Yes.
I don't know that it's, you might get $30 worth of entertainment out of it. You would get $30 worth of entertainment out of it. I wouldn't pay $30 for it.
Yeah. Probably not.
Probably not worth that. But
maybe $28.
So yeah, I don't know what else to say, other than there's just a bunch of random stuff. There's cows playing basketball.
Of course.
There's a giant cow that has different. There's you can play Othello with this giant cow. If you're not familiar, Othello is a board game. That
there was also some sort of giant serpent type thing flying in the air that we never discovered what that was about.
And there's also an airplane flying around that I'm sure you can attach to with your deer head, and
with
that does
deer neck web slingers.
And I'm sure that does something and then there's the Japanese rose garden that you can get to. There are two buttons there, and you can ride one of them has a cow on it. So you have to ride a cow over there, and the other one has something else over on it. I don't remember what, but I'm sure if you push those two buttons, something amazing happens
naturally.
So is it a good game? No,
because it's a great game.
But is it an entertaining game? Absolutely. Can you play this game, for hours? Yes, you could. And kid friendly for the most, nothing, it's just stupid. The whole game is just it's very nihilistic. Completely nihilistic, in fact.
So good.
So yeah. That's, I don't know what to say beyond that. It's worth downloading and at least looking at, and playing for a little bit.
I feel like it's one of those games where if you got a group of friends together.
Yes.
And one of you played it, the longer you played it, the more you would laugh because it would just devolve into cackling and
yes, chaos would ensue.
Yeah.
And I'm sure with kids it would be the same thing.
Yes,
playing that with your children watching would be amazing. So that's DEEEER Simulator.
There you go.
And that also that's been out for a while. I didn't realize it came out in 2017. So yeah.
So what we've discovered on this episode: Reese's potato chip big cups, meh.
Not worth your time.
Lego DC Villains, meh. DEEEER Simulator, yes,
absolutely,
for sure.
So you've gotten a fairly mediocre. 2/3 of this episode were mediocre.
We made up for it.
Yeah, we made up for it with the last third is phenomenal. So. Thanks for listening. We appreciate your ears.
Yeah.
If you like this episode, or even if you didn't like this episode, why don't you, like and subscribe anyway, and give us 5-star reviews on wherever you're listening. You can comment on Facebook or Twitter or wherever your, social media presence takes you. We may or may not see it. but you can comment anyway. And then you can, send us a message, and that I'd be more likely to see that. But if you've got games that you want us to play, please send them our way. Send them. And we would love to review games that you think that we should play. And we appreciate you listening. And if you want more of this, just subscribe. Click that button, and it'll download onto your phone. And we'll be here. So do all the things.
Do all the things.
And we will see you next time on the next episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. Bye. Bye.